Well, welcome to another edition of Akau TV. I'm joined by Akau trainer Jamie Richards. How are you this morning, Jamie?
Good, Hazy. Thank you.
Fantastic. And I guess this weekend's a bit somber for you. It'll be your last Group 1 day in New Zealand as a trainer after you've amassed a massive 51 Group 1s across Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, hopefully we can end on a high. We've certainly got some nice chances, so it'd be good to get one or two before we go.
Absolutely. And on that note, are you heading down to Wellington tomorrow?
Yep, for sure. Yeah, we sent the team down there this morning. I think about 12 runners and a carload of staff. And Sam and I are going to head down tomorrow. And it'll be a big old go in the capital.
Fantastic. And I guess for any of our owners on course tomorrow, I'll be floating around. So will Jamie, Sam Burgess, and I think Karen and Julia Rose. So if you see any of our faces on course, then feel free to pop over, say hello, and have a beer with us if you feel like it. So just quickly, obviously the yearlings are selling through pretty quickly at the moment. And I just wanted to touch on one of those quickly today. And I'm going to try and do something a little bit tricky here and share a screen with you. So the featured yearling of this week is lot 375, a Savabeel Leitana Bay colt. And Jamie, $110,000 is pretty good buying for a Savabeel.
Yeah, for sure. He's a colt that's sort of medium sized. I don't think he's going to be one of those big rangy Savabeels that's going to take forever to strengthen up. He's got a good bit of natural strength about him. He's from a good imported family. The mare raced in France. The Grand Dam, interestingly enough, was by Pivotal, and Pivotal was a fantastic stallion in Europe, particularly in the UK, and was standing at Cheveley Park when I did my sort of internship thing on that Sunline Scholarship many years ago. So a really nice colt. He was terrific buying at 110. He's basically, well, he's not even the cost of production, is he? Because Savabeel's fee is 100. So he was terrific buying, and the boys really found some value there. So we've had so much success with the stock of Savabeels, the stock of Savabeel. The list, goes on in terms of the Group 1 winners that we've bought by him and trained by him. So great value, certainly. Anybody that's wanting to spec a horse with a nice pedigree at a really affordable price certainly ticks a few boxes there.
Absolutely, and I guess I had a quick chat to David Ellis about this horse prior to coming on air this morning, and he said he was one of the more athletic Savabeel colts at the sale, and he would have expected that he would have paid double for it. So really good buying when you consider that $100,000 service fee. And feel free to jump on the website. I think there's 40% remaining in this horse, and I think it's on page 2 of the Yearlings and Shares. So some of those people out there may have missed him, but he's an absolute ripper of a colt. And feel free to make contact with the team over the weekend. There's a good video on there, and get involved. 10% for 12,000 plus GST, or 5% for 6,000 plus GST. So really good buying there, and you could have a bit of fun with him as well. So that's the featured yearling of the week. And moving down to, I guess, the results from the week that's been. So Trentham last Saturday, a nice win there from Quattro Quinta, Jamie.
Yeah, good to see him back. He's a horse with real ability. He's just had a few little niggling sort of things go wrong. He pulled a muscle in his shoulder, and he just he's needed a bit of time to come right. He's disappointing first up when he got back in the field, but he was able to dictate it at Trentham there the other day, back left-handed. Of course, he's raced well, and that's sort of why we went down there. So I'm really pleased that he was able to win well. And we also had Cote de Burn down there, who ran a really gallant second after not having a lot of luck in running. So certainly follow those 2 3-year-olds as we try and head towards the Cambridge Breeders' Stakes with them.
Absolutely. And Ellerslie on Sunday, unlucky to go down a narrow finish there with Dynastic. I know the rider of the winning horse was reprimanded with excessive use of the whip. Where does Dynastic go after this?
Dynastic will go to the Size Produce at Awapuni on the 2nd. He seems to have bounced through it in good shape. He's a beautiful colt. Our sort of, I guess, our chosen, sort of pathway with those horses to get to the Sistema is to give them a run here at Mitamita 2 weeks beforehand. And I think if a Dynastic had been able to do that, he probably wins last Sunday. But it was just unfortunate that he needed a bit of time after the Cracker Millions to get over some shin soreness and all of those sorts of things, and just a bit of time to chill out. So Got no doubt that he's going to improve a bit for the Manawatu size, and he'll be awfully hard to beat.
And absolutely, Jamie. And Matamata on Wednesday. Highborn won well for Windsor Park.
Yeah, she's a mare now by Savabeel that's just taken a little while to mature, but she is getting there now. She's won her last. Well, she won at Matamata, and then she'd run 2 good races in between times off bad draws. She was able to draw a bit of gate at Matamata, got the soft run and behind the speed, was aided by a nice ride by the informed Michael McNabb and Julia Blige. So well done to her ownership group. And as she continues to get a bit stronger, she might even get through to that next grade. So it'll be interesting to see.
Absolutely, and I guess probably the other big news of the week that's been is the kind of the impact of the jockey shortage. A few of them going down with COVID over the last 7 days. In particular, I guess Opie, and he'll be back riding on Sunday at Tauranga, I understand.
Yep, he's back in for Sunday. So yeah, a few of the boys and girls have, just got to follow those government protocols, close contacts, and all that sort of stuff, which is a little bit frustrating. But we've just got to play by the rules, and hopefully all of this will be behind us in due course.
Absolutely, and I guess from that, there's a couple of new faces that have been given opportunities and some pretty big races down at Trentham on Saturday. And I guess that's where we'll kick off with Tauranga moved across to Sunday because of those jockey shortages. So we're going to kick off in race 4, the listed Barneswood Farm, New Zealand St Ledger. It's an open race with set weights and penalty conditions over 2,600. We've got leaderboard, drawn barrier 4 for Fortuna Racing with Ryan Elliott aboard.
Yeah, the horse is going really well. Very happy with his soundness. He is a horse that was imported from Europe. He certainly would appreciate a little bit of give on the ground, but it doesn't look like we're going to get that. He's out to a trip that he enjoys, so look, he's certainly ready to run well. He would be a great winning chance if they got a shower of rain, but I'd say that track's going to be pretty good down there with the weather forecast.
It looks that way. And race 5, the Group 3 Wentwood Grange Cattle Stakes. It's for the fillies and mares, set weight and penalties over the mile. We've got Mai Tai, drawn barrier 4 with Kozi Asano on board.
Yep, happy with him. And Kozi's obviously somebody that has stepped up and filled a few voids there for us on Saturday. Mai Tai's going well. She just got found out last time up in that Rich Group 1 in the Thorndon, where she just probably did too much work in the middle stages and raced too handy to the speed. So we'll certainly be looking to ride her for a bit of cover from a good barrier. I think back to the fillies and mares set weights scale was a big help to her. Cinerama looks hard to beat, but we thought we would target this race because she's owned by Wentwood Grange and they sponsor the cattle. So she's ready to run well.
Absolutely. And then moving down to the first Group 1 on the card down there. So race 6, the Group 1 Wellington Sea Market Levin Classic. It's for the 3-year-olds, set weight conditions over the mile. I'm going to try and do something a little tricky here again. And you can talk to these horses, Jamie, as we pull them up on screen. But here is on the bubbles in the Mufasa Stakes.
6 lengths over the field, and it's Bellaluccio, the leader, neck in advance of Sassy Mulo on the bubbles. Now Parks has hooked out the challenge out 3 wide as they make the corner. Baldara sweating on a run and behind the leaders. Then came Bonnie Lass getting out into the clear, followed then by I Wish I Win, and battling away also Follow Your Dreams at the 200. On the bubbles made the lead. I Wish I Win is warming up, so is Bonnie Lass, and battling away and behind them then Bellaluccio. It's on the bubbles in front. Coming after it is I Wish I Win from Bonnie Lass. It's on the bubbles. He's percolating down to the line on the bubbles. Got there second over.
Beautiful.
I Wish I Win third over.
So you don't mind watching that, but, and I like watching that as well. But I guess 2 horses to call out there. Obviously on the bubbles, carrying 59 kilos on that day, and I Wish I Win, who closed well from the back, had a bit of a muddy run, and behind them carrying 56. Can you talk about both of those runners?
On the bubbles was great. Good to see him back. He had absolutely no luck in the Karaka Mile. So he's had a good week. He's trained well. Everything's gone according to plan. He's drawn a nice barrier again, so he should race up in behind the speed somewhere and get his chance. And as you mentioned, I Wish I Win didn't have the greatest of runs in transit there. Just got sort of carved up a little bit back in the field, but made good ground on the winner. And he too's had a good week. He's trained well. Everything's gone according to plan, and they head down there in good shape. I Wish I Win. Drawn barrier 6, just need a little bit of luck from there. Hopefully we can get in midfield with a bit of cover, but he is going well.
Absolutely, and we'll cover off the next two before we have a look at the replay of the favourites. So, Mohawk Brave, another really impressive winner last start, drawn barrier 3 with Craig Girls on board.
Yeah, happy with him. He's going well. He's a talented horse. He's stepped up to 1400 last time and raced really well. We sort of thought he was more of a 6 furlong sort of horse, being by Extreme Choice, but he looks like he wants to get out and trip a little bit. So he's going to be an interesting runner up to the mile. His work's been solid and expect him to run really well.
Great. And Zaytaku missed the start there at Ellerslie the other day, drawn barrier 8 with Jason Laking coming up from the South Island to ride.
Yeah, Jason's a guy that we have a high opinion of. He's a great rider, very balanced, and gets the best out of them in a finish. So he jumps aboard Zaytaku, who, as you say, Hazy, unfortunately just missed the kick a bit last time. He has been a little bit tricky in the gates before. So hopefully we can get him out of the gates cleanly. He's drawn barrier 8 midfield with a bit of cover. We're giving him a throw at the stumps here because he is still an entire. If he was able to win, it does give him a chance to be a stallion. But look, it's really up to him on the weekend, and we'll see how we get on.
Great, and we're going to have a quick look at Imperatriz there in the Lisa Chittick plate at Matamata.
Queen, followed by Luke Yearling on demand at the 250. Favourite Imperatriz put 3 lengths on them here.
Big old look over the shoulder there.
Very confident Pete did Michael McNabb. Shut the gate time. Imperatriz, have a look at a class that go. Racing into second, Luke Yearling from Dragon Queen, but that was so easy. Imperatriz has bolted in second.
Big win that, running time against the older horses, carrying a bit of weight there. She has to be pretty hard to beat.
Yep, for sure. She's going well. We ran her Matamata Breeders' Stakes Day there to give her 3 weeks into the Levin Classic because we believe that she does enjoy her races being spaced a little bit. So she's trained well since then. Everything's gone according to plan. And she's jumped on the track there this morning full of life. So happy with her. She's got that blistering turn of speed there, which hopefully should set her up to race really well in this. She's drawn well. Should get a nice run from there, and hopefully she's going to be fighting out the finish.
Absolutely, and obviously 5 runners there, Jamie. And I know you've mentioned there's not a lot between all of them. Who are we getting the lead on?
I think we're going to have to say Imperatriz, Hazy. I don't think there's a lot between any of them, but Imperatriz has got that great turn of foot, but not many horses get past on the bubbles in a dogfight, so it'll be interesting to see how they get on.
There we go. It's going to be one hell of a race, and we're looking forward to being there to watch it tomorrow. So down to race 7, the listed racer horse with Akau, New Zealand's number 1 stable Lightning handicap, open handicap over the 1200 metres. We've got 2 runners, the first of which is Top Brass, drawn barrier 1 with Ryan Elliott on board.
Yeah, unfortunately just missed the kick badly last time. He's never done that before. Been really happy with him leading into the race and thought he was a good winning chance, but just completely bombed it. So look, we've just left him alone, haven't taken him back to the barriers. I think he just made a mistake. We'll get a man up with him in the gates, just senior rider on, make sure that we get everything right. If he jumps well and puts himself up in the race, he's a really good winning chance. And Burgundy Rose, she was great in the same race as Top Brass last time. This has sort of been the pathway that we were thinking we would get these 2 horses to this race. And she deserves a shot at trying to get a little bit of black type. Been a really consistent mare, winning 7 of 24, and not often out of the prize money. So she's going well. We'll ride her a little bit quiet from 4, just get a bit of cover midfield with her and give her a chance to get home over the top of them like she did last time.
Great. And moving down to the next Group 1 on the card, the race 8, the Group 1 Al Basti Equiwheel Dubai New Zealand Oaks. It's for the fillies, the 3-year-old fillies over set weights over the 2400 metres. And we're going to have another wee look at one here in one of the key lead-up races, which is the Lowland Stakes, and that is Self-Obsession.
Great Plains Progress and another Ballarat set in stone. They swing, and here at the 400 metres, One Dream, One Soul, Flash Mary the outside, Self-Obsession now put into the clear, Illicit Miss over on the outside, and then Aspen, Colorado, One Dream, One Soul. They haven't got it yet on the outside. Self-Obsession starting to come quickly now, and then Flash Mary. She knows how to win. She's a great winning filly, and Self-Obsession wins the Lowland. One Dream, One Soul, Flash Mary.
God, she's tough, this horse, Jamie, and nice to see her come from behind the speed in the Lowland there. I know she's won there on the pace or leading in her past couple of runs leading into the Lowland there.
Yep, great to see her win like she did, and what a fantastic caller T. Lee is. Looking forward to his commentary tomorrow. But yeah, she's in good shape. Everything's gone according to plan. She's a winner. She'll lead up the 1.5 miles, and yeah, we're looking forward to seeing how she goes. She'll get up on the speed. Should be a really good chance.
And I guess we're going to have another look at one here who's probably the interesting runner. She was one time almost favourite for the Derby there with Le Creek and pushed Le Creek very close at Ellerslie a few starts back. But that horse is the perfect pink. She's failed here in the Avondale Guineas, but then she's come back and trialled, and you'd picked her to have a crack here at the 2400.
Full of horse, led by 2. La
We'll just
Creek
watch
comes
this
out
and
of
then
the
you can
trail to
comment.
challenge. Deeper out, Marshan. Back marker's not in it. The perfect pink is closing. La Creek burst to the front. Oh, the filly looks set for victory. Look at her put a space in them.
So that was her last run. Obviously, a few questions there.
Yeah, it's just I guess a bit of an average performance, really. Don't think she ran terrible. Don't think she ran great, but somewhere in between. And after sort of seeing that and just watching her pull up, we just thought we'd give her a little bit more time, get her back to her own 6. And she's had the benefit of being able to just have those couple of extra weeks. So as you say, she trialled nicely the other day, albeit on the synthetic track, but we sort of got out of that what we needed to. She seems to have done some nice work since then, and she looked great getting on the truck this morning. So whether she's a real 1.5 mile filly, we're not entirely sure. But the boys, and us were keen to have a look at the Oaks out to the 1.5 miles just to see if that was a distance that she could cope with, or whether perhaps she isn't a true stayer, and that's going to help them decide sort of what targets she's set for next season. So certainly keep an eye on her. She's drawn a bit awkward. She'll go back, get some cover from there, and hopefully we can have a bit of luck in running.
Absolutely. And then moving down to the last Tiako runner on the card, the homebred filly Ballon Rouge, drawn barrier 3 with Jason Laking on board.
Yep, happy with her. She didn't get all favours last time at Ellerslie when there was a little bit of interference at the top of the straight. But look, she's going well. I know her last 2 runs haven't been as good as her form leading into that, but we think she deserves an opportunity to run out 1.5 miles, particularly against her own sex and age. She's drawn well, going to get a soft run from there. So, if she runs out the trip, she's got to be an each-way chance.
Great. And who's the best of those chances there?
Oh, definitely Self-Obsession, I would have thought. True staying filly.
Fantastic. And out of the Melbourne Cup winner, shocking, of course. So Tauranga, we're going to rip through this. We're kind of running over time here. So I'm just going to call out the race and all of the runners. You can just kind of rattle them off. So race 2, the Boyd Mitchell Memorial. It's a maiden over 1200. We've got a couple with no jockeys listed, which are Dancing Sands and Accelerina, but also Victoria Rock drawn wide with Opie Bosson on board.
Yeah, so we're going to wait with Victoria Rock. She's going to go to counties on Wednesday, so certainly follow her there. She's a sharp filly. Any punters out there, she should run really well. Dancing Sand will be ridden by Masahashi Sumi, take a couple of kilos off. We just want to get a run into her and get her started. And Opie will ride Accelerina, who has been disappointing on occasions, but thought that she trialled right at Avondale and is ready to kick off her career here. Got to be an each-way chance at a decent price.
Great. And race 4, the contributor standing at Maple Leaf Stud, open handicap over the mile. The old boy AAT Lad, drawn barrier 4 with Maza Hazashimi on board.
Yeah, he ran great at Ellerslie last time. Certainly not the depth in this field that was there. Predefers a pretty handy sort of horse. So it looks a nice race for him. He's drawn a good gate, gets a couple of kilos off. Got to be an each-way chance.
And another old boy, Summer Monsoon, in race 5, the J-Swap contractors open handicap over 1,200 metres.
Yeah, he's a great old horse. He's done a wonderful job for us. Yeah. He's just new, fresh into a campaign. He was going to go down to Wellington for the Lightning, but to us, he just looks like he's probably a runaway. So we thought no real need to go all the way to Wellington when he's probably going to improve with it. So we just thought we'd stay a little bit closer to home, drawn well, 3 kilos off, watch him, but certainly follow him at his next start. We'll probably run in the open sprint at Napier in the middle of April. Should be a good chance there.
Great. And race 6, the Mills Reef Winery Handicap, rating 74, benchmark over 1,400 metres. The Mighty Spa, drawn barrier 7 with OP on the board.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing at Ruakaka, so we just gave him a bit of a freshen up, dropped him back and trip. Blinkers go on. So yeah, we're just sort of playing around with him a little bit, trying to work out what he wants. But he's going well. His work's been good. A little bit of luck from the barrier, should be an each way chance.
Great. And race 7, the World's End Bar and Restaurant Handicap, rating 65, benchmark over 1,400. A little bit bossy, won well at Pukekohe last up.
Yep, happy with her. She's just drawn an awful barrier, but I think we'll run. OP's on, try and push forward a little bit, see where she ends up. But yeah, she's a filly that's got above average ability, so certainly follow her again.
Great. And best bet for the weekend?
Yeah, tricky that. It should have been Victoria Rock on Sunday, but I think we'll go Imperatriz on Saturday. Sorry, Hamish.
That's all right, Jamie. I'll wear that one. And I guess I'm moving ahead to next week. So I think we've got, is it the Japan Invitational or some race like that at Tauranga with which will feature Predefer and Brando next week. Sadly, that is going to be the last week we'll see Jamie Richards listed as a trainer on a Saturday in New Zealand. So we're going to do a bit of a farewell show for Jamie next week. We might bring up a couple of memories from the past. And some of those good bits and pieces. So look forward to catching you all next week and have a great weekend. Go the Tangerine.
The champion team, Team Akau. Feel the passion in the pulse, from the sail to the saddle. If you want to win the Karaka Million, no one does it better. Our results speak for themselves. Our horses have won 6 Karaka 2-year-old millions in a row. If you'd like to race a Probabile, Avantage, or Akau Shark, all bought and trained by Akau, chat with us live online now at tiakauracing.com. You'll love being part of New Zealand's #1 stable. Go the Tangerine!